What's up everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this video I'm going to show you how I took this vertical video that I recorded for Instagram TV and turned it back into a horizontal video so I could post it on YouTube in an enjoyable format. So to begin, let me go to File, New Sequence, and create a new 1920 by 1080 sequence. So I'm just going to use this DSLR preset for 1080p, and I'll keep it at 30 frames per second. Now my raw source material that I got was a screen recording that I captured from my Instagram. So Instagram released this new video call feature where you could record your screen, and then I also recorded the audio and synced it together and made a little vertical video for my Instagram TV. But what ended up happening was that me and June here ended up talking for more than the 10-minute limit that I was allowed to post on Instagram. So I posted 10 minutes on Instagram, but then I posted the full 20-30-minute conversation here on YouTube like a podcast. But instead of just dragging this in here and keeping the existing settings and posting it like this with the black bars on the side, I decided to reformat it for YouTube with a few simple steps. First, we're starting off with our raw source material, so just the vertical video, and I'm actually going to duplicate this video track. So I'll hold Option and duplicate it on top of itself. Now what I want to do is separate myself and his video once again into two layers. So on the top layer, I'll go to the effects panel, search for one called crop, and drag it onto this, and then crop the top out 50%. So if I hide this layer underneath, we can see what's going on is I've cropped it just to him. I'll actually do 50.1, looks a little bit more clean. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom half. I'll drag a crop effect on there, except this time I'll crop the bottom up 50.1, and now I've basically separated mine and his into two different layers. So the next thing I can do, I can double click on any of these while I'm in the program window and move them around simply like that and position them wherever I want. I can also scale them up, or I can make sure that they're both the same size by entering a certain scale. One thing you could do to help you make sure things are centered is grab your text tool, click on and just write out perhaps a line, and then go to the Essential Graphics panel and center that line. And this can help you get a good judge of where the middle is and move your videos around based on that. You could also go into Photoshop, create a project the same size as your sequence, and use the ruler and grid guides to snap to the center and use that to measure and move around. Or you could just measure the size of your document and adjust the position of each video clip so that it's like minus 100 from the original starting point. I like to live life on the edge, and I end up eyeballing, but you can take those tedious steps to measure exact proportions and do the math and divide by 2 and all that, depending on how you're trying to align your squares. Alternatively, you could just scale everything up to the point where you don't need to worry about measuring and things just fill up the ends of each other. But I like it a little bit better, more natural like this. And then for the background, instead of just leaving it as a boring solid black, what I did was I went to File, New, Color Matte, and I chose a blue color matte, drag that on underneath my video clips so it created a fun little colorful background for us. Extended it out as far as I needed, and then so that it actually kept the attention of the viewer, it wasn't static throughout the whole thing, I added a little bit of a color animation to it by going to the effects panel, searching for one called HLS, that's the color balance HLS correction, dragging it onto the color matte layer, and then going to the very beginning, adding a keyframe by hitting the stopwatch icon, moving to the end of the clip, and making the hue rotate one full rotation through the color wheel, so 360 degrees, and that'll make us transfer from blue all the way through all the hues in the color wheel back to blue by the end of the clip. So I thought that would just be a fun little touch for someone that was listening to the whole 20 minutes if the background was slowly, gradually changing colors. At this point, you could add whatever other animations, text on the bottom or top, or format it however you like. Or you could decide to do something totally different for the background. I just chose this solid animating color. but you could choose anything else, a graphic you made in Photoshop, other stock footage and time-lapse or video or clouds, whatever. But that's basically how I took that vertical video, sliced it back in half, rearranged it, and put it together on a horizontal timeline for us to upload to YouTube in a more native format and allow me to post that extended cut, but not make it look as sloppy as it would if I wouldn't have taken the time. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it below. Let me know what you thought of this technique or if this gave you any ideas. Subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for all of my new future videos, and go follow me on Instagram at JustinODShow to keep in touch with what I'm doing there and message me and reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.